Alright everybody, just want to give you some information about creating a multicam edit. A multicam edit, I'll just explain really quickly, is when you have two cameras running at the same time. A lot of times you'll see this for a live performance or an interview or some sort of broadcast where you have multiple speakers and the camera will cut between close shots or two up shots. And this is a way for you to run those cameras at the same time, sync the audio together, and then edit between the cameras seamlessly. I'm giving you the footage so that you can practice the skills, and then we'll go from there. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up that media that's found in the curriculum website, and we're going to pull that up in Google Drive. And I recommend that you just click on the main folder and download the whole thing, because we have some other clips there we might use. And then once you have that downloaded as a zip file, you're going to need to go into your folder and double click on it to open it up, and it'll create a folder called Interviews. So then you need to look for that folder, and once you can locate that folder, then you're going to be able to bring it in to Final Cut in your media browser and work with it from there. Alright, the next step that we want to take on is we want to create our multicam clips. We're going to go up and select the two clips that go together, and the way you can tell this is that they both have My Calling in the end. So I'm going to select both of those out of order, and I'm going to hold the command key while I click on each of those, and you can see that these two clips are selected. And then I'm going to right click and do New Multicam Clip, and it gives you a lot of options here. I've found that it's been working well just to leave it as it was intended, or as default. I'm going to just put in here My Calling for this multicam clip. I'm going to click OK. It's going to synchronize them by sound, and then you'll see that this icon here means that it has multiple angles within it. So it looks like one clip, but it has multiple angles. So I'm going to drag that into my timeline. Okay. Now, if I double click on that clip, it will show me my angles together. And you can see that the wave files are lined up, so this is synchronized by sound. If I want to get out of this view, I'm going to click here, go back to this view. Now, in order to see the two different angles that you have combined together, we're going to go up here and we're going to go to View, and then you're going to do Show in Viewer, and then you're going to do Angles, because you want to see multiple angles. So right here we can see our angles, and the way that you're going to edit when you have a multi-cam angle clip. So if I skim through this, you can see what's happening in both of these windows. And right now, all of what we're seeing in our viewer is coming from this left close camera. Both the video and the audio is coming from that camera. You can set it so that the better sounding camera is the one that you get your sound from the whole time. You'll still see them moving their mouth, everything will be synced up, but you want to choose the best camera. So let's just say that my far camera has the best sound. Okay, I'm going to, at the beginning of the clip, I'm going to cut to that camera, and I don't know why it's showing it that way, far away. I think it's just a glitch, but I'm going to go here, make it so the video and audio is coming from there, and then I'm going to make it so that any future edits I make is going to be only a video edit. So now when I cut to the other camera, you're going to see a blue cut. So the sound is still coming from here, the video is coming from here, and as I play through it, let's say she says something that's expressive and we want to see her hand gestures a little bit differently, cut back to there, and then I'm going to skim through it. Maybe there's and then maybe she makes an expressive face or she says something that's important. So then I'm going to cut back to this. So, and you can also play, and while you're watching, you can actually edit back and forth. So I'm on the close camera right now. I can switch to the other camera. Okay. And then maybe sometimes it's just about time. Like, oh, I've been on this camera for a long time. I'm going to just mix it up a little bit, cut it back to the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and pause that now. But you can see that these edits that I've made are all switches between cameras, and it will actually change the timeline. So here's the close camera, here's the far camera, close camera. So you can go through and make all those edits, and then when you have good variety and you have the clip making an edit at an opportune moment, then and you feel like you're good about that, then we're going to start to make some other changes. I just want to remind you that when you double click on this clip, it will take you inside and you can make individual edits. So for instance, we're going to do some color correction, and you can see that this close camera definitely needs some color correction. So I can go up here to my color board and work on some things there, and then just go back out of this view and take you back out to your multicam edit, and it will make those changes to your footage. One of our goals later is to make them look more cohesive. So you can see in this clip that her hair looks redder, and her skin looks a little bit more natural. Over here, that yellow intense background has discolored skin a little bit, and the red is less. The red of the hair or the orange is less intense. So there's some saturation and maybe a little bit of exposure and some color correction that could make these two look more similar to each other. So we're going to be working on that in the future, but this is just to get you set up with how to set up your multicam and how to start to look through it. One more thing I'm going to show you is it might be useful ahead of time to mark where you think edits should happen. So let's say this gesture right here where she's moving her hands, and I want this to be a wider shot for this gesture. I can go here, and where my scroll bar is, if I hit M for mark, you can see that it's put a blue marker there, and that'll give me a sense for when I'm going to make my edit. So if I skim through it, you know, we have this this air quotes right there. That could be a place where you may want to think about, you know, changing a camera, and then maybe skim through it. When you hear her say something interesting, also mark that, and then you can kind of use those markers while you do your multicam edit to make sure that everything is the way you want.
Alright, so that's it for this technique that's commonly used in documentaries and broadcast. I hope you enjoy it and that you can use it someday.